I've got here the all-new Naturehike 30-liter helium backpack. Is this backpack better than others on the market? For example, the Aliexpress C9111? Let's go and find out. As with all of my videos, I want to save you guys time, so I'm going to let you know my thoughts and opinions of this pack right now. They should have called this pack the Naturehike Radon 30-liter pack. You get it? Radon, the heaviest gas, heavier than helium. Okay, I had to Google that, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I just Googled what is the heaviest gas and radon came up because this pack is heavy. Not only is it heavy, but it's uncomfortable. It has some really weird features that I'm going to show you guys. And I just find it hard to recommend to anybody, to be honest, when there's other packs on the market, such as the Aliexpress C9111 that perform much better. Of course, this is just my opinion. I would recommend you to still watch this video in its entirety because this pack may work for you. Let's first go inside and take a look at some of the specs. There is one size for this pack, and that is one size fits most. The sternum strap is adjustable. The waist belt is also adjustable, of course. At its smallest setting, it has a circumference of around 30 to 31 inches. Now, please keep in mind that this is not actually a hip belt, okay? At least for, I believe, a lot of people, this pack, this torso, is too short for the belt to actually reach your hips. What I would recommend is to find your C7 vertebra, measure 16 inches down from your C7, and that is where the bottom of the pack will lie. And that is also where the bottom of the waist strap will lie, and measure about 4 inches over that point. And that's where the top of the waist belt will lie. For me, this is my upper waist. However, for some people, this may be like exactly their waistline or maybe lower waist. This pack, brand new with everything on, weighs in at 39.26 ounces. The waist strap is removable. With it removed, you save 5.08 ounces. It also has an internal foam frame. With this removed, you save 3.67 ounces. And there's lastly an aluminum stay, a single aluminum stay. And with this, you save 1.34 ounces. There are a few other small stuff that you can remove. However, those three that I just mentioned are the biggest weight-saving things you can cut off from this pack without doing any sort of like actual cutting. That gives you a total weight of 29.17 ounces. The shoulder straps measure to approximately 17.5 inches. The length of the pack, starting from the bottom to where the shoulder strap meets the pack, is 16 inches. Due to the center zipper that the pack has, this separates the mesh pockets. Each mesh pocket is about 8.5 by 4 inches. You are very limited in what you can put in these compared to if it was just one full pocket. This pack has a lot of features. Some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are useless, in my opinion, and some of them are good, but they just aren't incorporated well or not designed well. This pack seems like it was designed by someone who doesn't actually go hiking or go running with a pack, and they just wanted to throw as many cool elements at a pack as they could. You know, oh, I want to add, you know, these vest style straps. I want to add pockets for those straps. I want to add a frame. I want to add a load lifters. But it's like, Do you really need load lifters on this pack? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at the features in the front. Starting at the bottom, we've got a removable hip belt. There is a pocket on one side and no pocket on the other. The pocket is very small, very, very small. You can barely fit a phone in here. Well, big phones you definitely can't. Small phones can probably fit in there fine. You do have two vest style straps. These are not, I wouldn't call these like exactly vest style. These are kind of like a hybrid. They do have water bottle pockets on each strap. However, these pockets cannot hold large items. Let me show you. I'll be right back. Here is a 500 milliliter plastic water bottle. It fits, but barely. You definitely can't fit anything wider than this. I mean, if you have a very narrow, 750 milliliter water bottle, it can probably fit. This is just a Kirkland Signature water bottle, the same size as pretty much all the other 500 milliliter bottles you'll find. Here is a 300 milliliter bottle that I made. This was a DIY project. I'll have a link above. This fits better than the 500 milliliter. Of course, the capacity is less, but you can see it fits well, contours well to the body. However, these pockets, they really can't fit much. You can't fit a smart bottle in here. You can't fit a lot of the larger, 750 or 1 liter bottles in these pockets. Above these pockets are these weird straps. I do not know what these are for. If you know what these are for, please let me know. I think they're absolutely useless and ridiculous looking. I feel like I'm some sort of like parachute jumper guy who this like the parachute cord to deploy it, like bah! At the very top are 2 load lifters. In my opinion, they're useless and don't do anything. However, I'll talk more about that later when I talk about the cons for this pack. Moving on to the front, we'll start at the bottom. There are these 2 elastic cords. These are pretty convenient actually, because you can put a CCF pad here. You can put 10 posts here, whatever you want. The sides have your standard side pocket pouch for water bottles. You can easily fit in 2 smart bottles here if you want, or like a large Nalgene. There are side compression straps. These are static, and these also have a buckle in case you want to quickly loosen them. The back of the pack, or is this the front? No, I call this the back usually, I think. Has a center zip pocket, which is, in my opinion, really strange and useless. This reminds me of the Outdoor Vitals Shadow Light pack. It's not a huge pocket, and it cuts the elastic pouch in half. So now this elastic pouch is like 2 separate pouches, which, again, in my opinion, is less preferable than 1 big pouch, but maybe for you, you might like that. The top has a single strap top closure and also 2 side closures. You've got a roll top, got a hydration bladder port, and there's also a zipper at the top, which again, I think is useless. Those are all the exterior features. There are a few other features that I have not mentioned that I will mention when we look at the close-up of the features. A lot of these, like the zipper at the top here, this center zipper, I mean, they're just useless. These straps, they're useless, okay? And some other features like these strap pockets are useful, and like a hip belt pocket are useful, but they're just not made well. These should be larger. This should be larger. It just doesn't make sense. All right, let's take a closer look at some of the details, starting with the hip belt. Again, this hip belt pocket is really small. I really wish they made it larger, and I don't see why they wouldn't just add it to the other side. They don't even have any strapping on this side. So some packs have like I don't know, is it called Molly strapping? I think it's called Molly strapping. So you can attach something here if you wanted to. This doesn't even give you that. Thankfully, it is removable. There's a strap on either side. Once you undo this strap, all you have to do is undo the Velcro on the inside. Just put your hand in, undo the Velcro, and slide it out. Boom. So at least they made it removable. Moving on to the shoulder straps. Again, this thing, no clue what it is for. These pockets, extremely small. The adjustment points for the sternum strap, which there is only one, it is not stretchy, and it does have a whistle, okay? I wish there was two. I prefer two on my FASTPACKs, but you can make do with one. And the attachment is this type of attachment. It's like a hook. I'm sure you can find more of these online, or maybe you have another pack that uses this type of attachment. I think I do, but honestly, I forget which one exactly. Anyways, there's 5 attachment points. They use these loops. However, the bottom loop and the top loop are extremely small. They're much smaller than the middle 3 loops, so you can't actually use these. So in reality, there's only 3 adjustment points, which is kind of a shame. Next, we got the load lifters. In my opinion, I find these useless. I don't know why you would need load lifters for such a small pack that doesn't use a hip belt to distribute the weight to your hips. I mean, it has a hip belt, but in reality, this is more of a waist belt because of the size of the pack. It lands on your waist, not your hips. Therefore, it doesn't properly distribute weight to your hips. And all it does is, you know, just tighten around your stomach. And also this frame is like flexible. So, well, at least the top here is flexible. The center here is actually has an aluminum rod, which I will show you later. But I don't know, the load lifters don't make sense. If I was to do a modification, I'd cut these off, definitely cut these straps off, and some other things I'd cut off as well. Here's the top closure. I wish it was a Y closure, you know, the one with, I'll have a picture up on the screen, but you know, this is better than nothing. The bottom bungees are nice to have. Personally, I would prefer a bottom pocket, but this is better than nothing. I find it a little bit weird that they didn't add these posts to tighten it. Like, they should have added these on the back here, okay? Because it's much easier to reach your hands right here and tighten the backpack. Sorry, reach your hands right here and tighten the bungee versus back here and tighten the bungee. For some people with flexible, long arms, this may not be a problem, but I found it kind of difficult to tighten these sometimes. The side compression is a long strap. I wish they made this into a cord, not a strap, just because the strap is heavier than the cord. They do have these attachment points on the side if you want to, I don't know, string some elastic through these points and make some sort of bungee system here. There are 2 bungees on the side top of the pack. These can be great for track and poles or something like an umbrella, tripod. Now let's take a look at the inside of the pack, which is one of the most interesting parts, because this pack actually has an aluminum stay in it. One single aluminum stay. First, there's this hard, dense foam. Oh gosh. It's like a pretty dense, hard foam frame. And here is a piece of Velcro. It's kind of hard to get to. That hides an aluminum stay. Let me pop this out. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? And by interesting, I mean useless. And there is still a frame in here, as you can see. Even after removing this foam and this aluminum stay, there is still a frame in here and some padding that cannot be removed. It can be cut out, I'm sure, but it can't be removed without cutting it out. But now that this pad is removed, you can see there's no more structure up here, like where the load lifters are attached to, okay? So this pad you see only extends from the bottom of the pack to where the shoulder straps end. However, this pad extends from the bottom to the load lifters, which is strange. I don't know why they wouldn't just make this pad extend all the way to the load lifters. And also the frame also extends from the bottom of the pack just up to the shoulder straps. Yeah, these load lifters really don't make sense at all. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this center zip pocket is its own pocket. This is not a quick access pocket to the inside of the pack. However, if you wanted to, you can cut out this material and turn it into a quick access pocket for the main compartment of the pack. This whole video has mostly been me just complaining about this pack. However, I've left out something very, very important, and that is this pack comfortable? And that's a very important question, because if this pack is comfortable, I can look past those weird features, or I can simply modify this bag. Well, to answer your question, absolutely not. The pack is not comfortable. It is terrible. My biggest complaint with the pack in terms of comfort is that the shoulder straps, the distance between the two shoulder straps where they are attached at the top of the pack, are way too close to one another. That strap gap is about 1.5 inches on the Naturehike. If I compare this to, in my opinion, my most comfortable packs, which are the Aliexpress C9111 and the Palante Joey, both of those packs have a strap gap of at least 3 inches. This allows for spacing around your neck. Not only does the Palante and the Aliexpress have a larger strap gap, but they also have contouring around the neck, which makes those straps rest comfortably around your neck. The Naturehike is not only thin, but it doesn't have that contouring, so it feels like someone's pinching your neck. Before I've even had this pack out on the trail, just by testing it inside, I can already feel that the straps were too thin. Once I started to bring this out on walks, just simple, light walks, I can already feel pinching and chafing on my neck. Once I started to run with this pack, oh gosh, it was extremely uncomfortable. I only did 2 runs, each run about 4 miles, and I called it quits after that. This pack, the #1 flaw is that it is just not comfortable, and that cannot be fixed by any modification, at least any simple modification. If you have like a very thin neck, I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't say I have a thick neck, and I found it to be uncomfortable. I really don't think this would be comfortable for the vast majority of people. But if it is comfortable for you, please let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions. If you guys would like to see me do a modification of this backpack, although I don't necessarily think it's worth it, but if you guys want to see it, let me know in the comments, and I'd love to do that. Thank you for watching. Happy trails.